from each side. And this time observe 3 minutes. We almost to the second hour. So I want to, now we give Senator Cherargei Samson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have been listening keenly. As a house, it looks like we are going to full circle, because some of us in the previous session, we were subjected to similar issues. But I want to maybe make a few points, Mr. Speaker. One is that the wording of Article 3 of the Constitution says defense of the Constitution. You have an obligation as the House of the Speaker and as a person to defend the Constitution. And every matter that comes to the House, Mr. Speaker, is considered case by case. In as much as when you look at understanding order number 1 on looking at the precedents and traditions of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, you must considering that Article 10 on principles of good governance and national values, the rule of law, forms a biggest basis of the value, Mr. Speaker. The minority side today is trying to lecture us about disobeying the rule of law that has been accusing the majority side and the government of disobeying the law. Mr. Speaker, I remember when our brothers were de-whipped and removed. Me personally, Mr. Speaker, I was removed in a press conference. So mine was worse, but others, at least the communications came to the floor of the House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Speaker then, Lusaka, just issued, and I'm surprised that my senior and my brother, Senator Stewart Marzayo, there was no ruling that came from that chair. The Speaker, Lusaka, just noted the changes. He didn't even give a ruling. I remember the former Senator of Elgeyo Marakwet and the current CS even requested for the ruling up to the last time we were leaving the House before going to general elections, Mr. Speaker. This habit of disobeying court orders was a symptom and behavior of the handshake government, where the minority side was thriving because they didn't obey any court order. And this government or any other arm of government, Mr. Speaker, should not disobey a court order, Mr. Speaker, in as much as we appreciate the distinction of separation of powers, Mr. Speaker. When you look under the Article 159, Article 169, the tribunal, and I have tremendous respect for my learned seniors, Senator Sifuna, Senator Okongo Mugeni, but intellectual dishonest should not take us to make comments that are convenient to do so because of political expedience, Mr. Speaker. When you look under Section 40 and 41, when this thing goes to PPDP, and Senator Sifuna say that is their field where they thrive, the 3 months are provided on how these disputes can be done. But, Mr. Speaker, we are not saying you should perfect political parties or manage affairs of political parties, but you have an obligation to protect the law. If this divorce of Azimio and Kenya lands is going to be messy with a lot of casualties, whichever direction they want to take, Mr. Speaker, we are not saying you should be part of it, but we are saying protect the law and follow the law for the benefit of all of us, Mr. Speaker. And therefore I agree with you and support your decision that let the minority side be patient. Patient does not hurt anybody, Mr. Speaker. And when those changes will come, you will communicate as per the law, so that we are not running this house, Mr. Speaker, the way all of us want to do, Mr. Speaker. And as a speaker, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Cherargei. Senator Kajwang Moses.